Hey everyone, it's Colin. I've been thinking about modern day controllers and they're all the same. I want something that'll really make me feel like a part of the game. Like if I let go of it, it'll leave a nice gash in my flat screen.
No problem. Watch and learn, my friends.
Turns out, Alvin may have beat me to it. Before all this Switch and Switch 2 stuff, there was a console. God no, not that one. Ah yes, the Nintendo Wii. The console that brought Nintendo back up from a huge failure just for them to follow it up with an even bigger one. I'll be diving into the Wii for a straight week and streaming all of it. And yes, this is part 2 in our 4-part series leading up to the launch of the Switch 2. But nonetheless, I'll quit yapping and let's start with day 1. To start off the week, my roommate Gio and I decided to hit the green. And yep, I'm talking about Wii Sports Resort. This is just one of those timeless party games. And it's hard not to have a good time when playing Wii Sports. And I'm really honestly not a big motion control guy. There's a certain charm that Wii Sports and overall just the Wii has when it comes to its motion control. Because I sure know I would not play a sports compilation like this if it didn't have the motion controls. Like especially a golf game, that would take away half the fun. Gio and I decided to do an 18-hole run and we had some great holes and we also had some that ended up pretty catastrophic. We went from getting birdies and pars on most holes to getting a +7 or even a +9 I think at a point. At the end of it all, we ended up with some pretty good scores. I pulled out a -2, Gio pulled out a +15. Although this is how most of our golf games go though, so nothing new here. Wii Sports Resort has become a regular in our household and me and my roommates always play it pretty much all the time. It's a whole lot of fun. I promise you it's definitely not going anywhere. And this also won't be the only time you see it for this week. This first stream, day 1 was really short, but we got right into it the next day on day 2. Starting off on day 2, I decided to play a little bit of New Super Mario Bros. And this time I was all on my own. It felt very fitting because, well, the first game I ever played on the Wii growing up was New Super Mario Bros. Yes, that was one of the pack-in titles with my red Wii. Nothing really crazy happened with this game though. Everything was pretty much as you'd expect. I played through the first 2 worlds and I came to the conclusion that this game really doesn't get enough credit. I can't tell if it's the nostalgia blinding me, but I feel as if this is probably the best, if not the second best, behind Mario DS when it comes to the New Super Mario Bros. Family. I mean, there's no denying that they overstayed their welcome and Mario Wonder is a great evolution of this gameplay style, but there is some charm to be found with this one. I mean, at the time, it was the first game that brought back the Koopalings in I don't even know how long, since Super Mario World. But I think this game and the others like it just got frowned upon because, well, they came out with like 5 or 6 of them in the span of 5 years. It was like a Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed. You like got a new one of these every time you turned around. Not to mention, almost all of them feel exactly the same. While playing it through, I did have some awesome sequences myself and also some not so great moments. But I feel like that's all part of the fun. I did get a little bored near the end because, well, I'm not the most engaged by platformers. So I decided to end my night with a little bit more Wii Sports Golf. And I did another 18-hole run by myself, and let me tell you, this was one hell of a game. I got this insanely cool chip in, or at least I think it's pretty cool. That looks like nothing compared to this next shot. Look at this hole-in-one I got. Roll the clip.
This one's all mine. That's in the hole. Hole in one!
Yep, that's right. Hole-in-one. My first ever and probably only ever if I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I was very lucky I got this one on camera. That was a very fun and cool way to end the night off. But even after all that, I didn't even get my course record. I was still down 1 from even tying it. So I don't exactly know how I messed up some of the other holes that bad. Well, I'll take a hole-in-one any day of the week. Now, the third stream, I decided to kick it off with some Super Mario Galaxy. I haven't ever really played Galaxy. I mean, I've owned them for several years. I own both the first and the second one, but they just haven't ever really grasped me in, or I haven't given them a very fair shot. Let me tell you, this game did not disappoint this time around. Galaxy is an extremely well put together platformer, and I really understand the rave and awesome reviews it gets. I personally find it hard to get into these platformers because without major story points or huge action sequences, it's really hard to keep me wanting to play for a long period of time. I personally believe that these games are best digested over smaller sequences of time. This one I ended up playing for 2.5 hours after a work day, and that's no easy task for me. It's a very easy game to just play through and talk to the chat about really anything. We had some nice saves and also some pretty detrimental losses that were all my fault. But I do seriously want to spend some time on this game because it is a major banger. Now the gravity mechanics are something that carries it pretty heavily. I mean, it's just something that other platformers don't really do and adds a lot of appeal to this one. It adds what feels like another dimension to the game. Although the game is pretty linear, and I've heard the second one is even more so, I don't necessarily think that's such a bad thing. This game came out right after two major open world sandbox Mario games, so honestly it was a pretty good change of pace. Now the linear Mario standard level platforming scene is a little saturated with games like New Super Mario Bros. And even Super Mario 3D World, but this one definitely does stand out from the rest still. It carries a very unique identity, all the galaxies feel very independent from one another, and every world really spices things up and feels very different from the previous. There's unique bosses everywhere, even with not a whole lot of extra mechanics going into it, and the power-ups are something that are really cool as well. I did manage to get about halfway through it, which I don't feel like is that bad compared to the amount of time I spent with it, so I would say I made pretty good progress. The one thing I will say that I don't like so much about this game is really that pointer integration and also the motion control with the spin sometimes can be a little unresponsive. And that might just be a me problem, but the pointer doesn't really add much, and then sometimes I'd twirl the Wii remote and Mario wouldn't spin. I will say this is a lot worse when it comes to the Switch 3D All-Stars Collection version of it, especially the pointer. When you're playing that game with a Pro controller, it's also a little clunky using it as like a Wiimote pointer thing. So overall, I think this is still best enjoyed on the Wii. I'm also sure that Nintendo pushes their developers to use certain gimmicks. That also may be why this has so much of that DNA in it. Also, the Wii just didn't have much buttons to work with in general. But with all that being said, Mario Galaxy is a fantastic game and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. Anyways, I'll finally shut up about this game and let's move on to the final day. My final stream was with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, probably the Wii game I played the most as a kid as well. And that was probably also the last time I played this, as so many have came out recently, I've never felt the need to go back to Brawl. So when jumping into a fresh new save with none of the characters unlocked, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would. Time was flying and I wasn't even playing against real people. I did 4-player free-for-all battles against the CPUs at level 6 and they were still beating the crap out of me. I was playing with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, and I did manage to get some wins. It was honestly pretty even, but they gave me a harder time than I thought. But yeah, the Wiimote and Nunchuck are not an ideal way to play any Smash Bros. Game. Shout out the Wii U for having Wii backwards compatibility, but not supporting the GameCube controller still. Don't know what's up with that one. Nonetheless, I was playing all sorts of characters and having a great time. Little did I know I had sank 2.5 hours in already, and I didn't really want to stop. I kind of forgot a lot about that Smash charm as I haven't played a lot of Ultimate, and the 3DS game came out 10 years ago and that was probably the last time I played it. That being said, I am looking forward to jumping into Ultimate while I stream next week for the Switch. I used to be a Sonic main in this game and I didn't get around to unlocking him, so that was a little unfortunate, but I did get a chance to check out way more characters than I originally had. In fact, about unlocking them, I feel like it took way longer than it did as a kid. I also didn't really play for this kind of time period straight when I was a kid, so maybe that has something to do with it. I got a really cool sequence as Sheik. That was pretty much all of my personal highlights, other than getting clapped up by the CPUs. And this is also a game I'll definitely be coming back to, as I love Smash Brawl. It's my personal favorite of them all, which is a very unpopular opinion. But I mean, just listen to that soundtrack. You really can't get enough of it, and the cutscenes are also dope, and I don't think any other Smash Bros are gonna have any cutscenes anytime soon. I'll have to get my original Wii from my parents' house though, because I do not think I can keep playing with the control method. Like seriously, I need a GameCube controller, at least like the Wii Pro controller or something. That's really all I dove into on my week with the Wii. I am very aware I missed a lot of must plays like Mario Kart Wii and also Twilight Princess, but I also figured that I'm gonna avoid those this week so I can dive into things like Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 in the next video. If you do want to see me touch on any of the games in this video or the two I just mentioned, or heck, anything else, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll definitely look into it. The Switch 2 launch is just around the corner and I'll be streaming this upcoming week a whole lot more of the original Nintendo Switch, and also I plan on doing a midnight launch stream for the Switch 2. If that's something you're interested in, I think it'll be a lot of fun and I'd love to have you. It's twitch.tv/CollinGreener, and like I said, I'd love to see you there. Love to chat it up. Overall, I had a blast playing all these games with my viewers, so I'd love more people to join in. Also, thank you for checking out this video and watching it till the very end. It actually supports me so much. You have no idea how much it helps. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on it. and maybe you can consider subscribing. You'll see all my content and the new videos I plan on posting, but also help me get out to other people so they can see me as well. And also another quick reminder that this is video number 2 in this series. Last week I did one on the SNES, N64, and GameCube, so be sure to check that out if you haven't. Yeah, that's all I really got for now, and thanks for stopping by and watching it through. This has been the Pixel Critic. Alrighty.